Your mind can either be your greatest ally or your deadliest enemy. Right now, it's being used against you, keeping you poor, weak, and controlled. But today, that ends. Brothers and sisters, in this very moment, I invite you to awaken, not in a shallow, pretentious sense of enlightenment, but deeply and truly, to confront the prison in which your mind has been living for far too long. We have been deceived, not by a villain in the shadows, not by a government or a system alone, but by the small voice inside us that whispers, "You're not enough. You'll fail anyway. Why bother?" This voice does not belong to your higher self. It is the product of years of mental conditioning, distractions, emotional wounds, and cultural programming designed to keep you silent, safe, and stuck. The real battle isn't out there. It's in here in your mind. And unless you master it, you will be ruled by it. And if your mind is controlled, then so is your life. We live in a time where excuses are glorified, blame is encouraged, discipline is mocked, and comfort is sold as the highest virtue. But what happens to a society that teaches its people to stay in bed, numb their emotions, run from challenges, and wait for someone to rescue them? They become slaves not to change, but to thought. Slaves not to tyrants, but to temptations. Slaves not to fear itself, but to the fear of responsibility. But hear me now, this message, this speech is not for the masses. It's for the few who are ready to take their power back, the few who will dare to face themselves, the few who understand that true freedom doesn't come from breaking rules, it comes from breaking limitations. From this moment forward, we leave victimhood behind. We leave excuses behind. We leave weakness behind. The truth is harsh, but it's liberating. Your life is what you've allowed it to become, and only you can change it. Today, I will show you the traps and I will hand you the keys. Let's begin. You must understand this truth. The greatest prison is not made of iron bars. It's made of excuses. Look around you. What do you see? A generation that has been trained, yes, trained to point fingers. My parents were poor. My teachers didn't care. The system is rigged. My boss doesn't value me. Me. Blame, blame, blame. But here's the harsh reality. The world doesn't care about your excuses. It rewards one thing: results. Let me say it clearly, excuses are lies you tell yourself to avoid facing the truth. And the truth is simple: you are where you are because of your choices. I do not speak these words to offend you, but to awaken you. As long as you keep pointing outward, you will remain powerless. Yes, some people are born with more, some with less. But listen closely, your starting line is not your finish line. Your background is not your barrier. It's your beginning. Do not let the story of your past become the anchor of your future. The victim mindset? What is it really? It's the death of possibility. It's the slow suicide of your potential. Convinces you that you are powerless. And when you believe that, you begin to act like it. And when you act powerless, you become powerless. That's how the trap works. Society profits when you stay weak. Politics thrives when you stay divided. Corporations win when you stay addicted, distracted, and hopeless. But do you know what they fear? They fear the one who wakes up and says, "I am responsible for everything in my life. Not because everything is my fault, but because everything is now in my hands." That moment when you shift from victim to warrior is when your true life begins. The weak blame the world. The strong take responsibility. You want power? You want freedom? Then take ownership, radical ownership. Own your pain. Own your failures. Own your fears. Because when you own them, you can transform them. This is the first law of freedom. Nothing changes until you change. And nothing will change if you keep telling yourself that your weakness is someone else's fault. The world has told you that being a victim makes you virtuous. But I tell you this, being a victim makes you vulnerable. It steals your voice, your strength, your spirit. So, what must you do? Stand in the mirror. Look into your own eyes and say, if my life is weak, it is because I have allowed it to be. But I will allow it no more. That's the power of self-awareness. That's the first blow to the prison wall. Once you destroy the victim mindset, the rest of the prison begins to crumble. The next enemy you must face is the illusion of motivation. You've been lied to. This world has told you that motivation is the key. That greatness begins when the stars align. When the mood is right. When your emotions are ready. But the truth is brutal and it is beautiful. Motivation is a trap. Discipline is the way. You do not rise by waiting. You rise by acting, especially when you don't feel like it. Listen closely. Every warrior you admire, every master, every legend was built through discipline, not motivation. Motivation is emotional. It's fleeting. It whispers in the morning but disappears by afternoon. It shows up on Monday and vanishes by Friday. Discipline, however, is your spine. Discipline is your shield. Discipline is the silent voice inside you that says, I don't care how I feel. I do what is required because I've made a vow to myself. When you are disciplined, you are dangerous. Because no force can stop the man or woman who moves regardless of emotion. The person who trains when tired, who shows up when no one's watching, who works in silence and lets success be the noise. Every morning, you wake up at war, not with the world, but with the enemy within. That voice whispers, sleep a little longer. You can do it tomorrow. One more hour won't hurt. Take it easy. You've done enough. That voice is not your friend. It's death disguised as comfort. Discipline is the sword that cuts through it. Do you think the Shaolin monks wait for motivation? Do you think the masters wait to feel ready? No. They rise with the sun. They move with precision. They repeat day after day, year after year, until excellence becomes their nature. This is the mindset of a warrior. I don't rise because I feel like it. I rise because I've made a decision to become who I must become. Discipline carries you when motivation dies. Discipline keeps your promise to your future self. And every time you practice it, no matter how small the act, you build something indestructible. Self-trust. You stop betraying your goals. You stop abandoning your dreams. You stop negotiating with weakness because you've trained yourself to obey the command of your higher self, not your impulses. Remember this, motivation fades. Discipline endures. And when you live with discipline consistently, patiently, you become untouchable. You don't beg for change. You become change. If you truly want to master your life, you must guard the one place where all discipline begins, your mind. The most powerful empire you will ever rule is your own mind. But if your gates are wide open, if the walls are crumbling, if anything and everything is allowed in, then you are already conquered. Ask yourself, what are you feeding your mind? Because just as the body is shaped by what you eat, your mind is shaped by what you allow in. Social media, gossip, negativity, endless scrolling, these are not harmless habits. They are mental poison. They chip away at your focus. They dull your edge. They weaken your purpose, one dopamine hit at a time. And if you do not wake up to it, you become a product of distraction, a pawn in someone else's game. So I ask you, would a warrior allow poison into his veins? Would a monk allow chaos into his temple? Then why do you let your mind, the very instrument of your future, be filled with trash? Guard your mind like a sacred fortress. This is not about fear. It's about clarity, not paranoia, but protection. Because everything you consume becomes a brick in the structure of your belief. And everything you believe becomes the limit or the liberation of your life. So, what are you doing with your time? What are you doing with your life? Time is your most powerful weapon. Use it wisely. Cut away distractions. Eliminate excuses. Sharpen your life with what you choose to do now. Every second spent in doubt is a second stolen from your future. You were not born to waste this gift. You were born to build something eternal. Time is not money. Time is life. And every time you say, I'll do it later, you are handing over your sword to the world, allowing it to chain you again. But if you choose urgency, if you choose action, if you say, no more delays, I move now, then time will become your weapon. Your future will be yours to carve. This moment is all you have. Will you use it, or will you waste it? The choice is yours. Now, I ask you, will you rise, or will you stay trapped in the life that has been handed to you? Will you let comfort dictate your fate, or will you choose the warrior's path? Will you break free, or will you let the chains of excuses keep you bound? The fire is here. Step into it. Let it transform you. No more waiting. No more excuses. Let's rise.